Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Welcome to it. And what a Friday it is. Well, it's a Friday just like every other Friday. Heading into the weekend.
It's not like every other Friday, my friend.
It's not?
It's Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Friday the 13th.
Oh. I'm scared. Jeffy, hold me.
So did they release the 37th movie?
I think it is the 39th.
39th
version. Yeah.
I must have missed 2 in there somewhere.
Actually, I think there's only 12.
Only
I don't
12.
even think there's 13, which is really kind of weird.
Oh, look.
That's what they should do. The 13th edition of Friday the 13th.
Should wrap it up.
Yeah, it should. How many? Because they did some weird stuff too,
this
right?
is-
that weren't.
Yeah.
This is not easy. It's the Friday the 13th part 6. What? Right, the 13th one part? Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Hang on. These
Niner.
links. Thank you for that. Yeah, I can't tell. I'll get back to you. This is an odd list that I'm looking at here. Because they did Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, they did some that
yeah.
weren't called Friday
2, 3,
the
4,
13th.
5, 6, 7,
I think.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you're right. 12.
Huh?
Thank you.
12. This would have been a good time to do number
Wow.
13.
Wait, well, Jeffy's math worked out nicely that time. Okay.
Friday the 13th squared. It's on the 13th, and it's the 13th movie. It would have been cool, but no, they blew it.
No, they blew it.
They blew it. It's probably so far beyond the Friday the 13th movies that they realize.
I don't know. Hollywood's going to the wheelbarrow for about everything these days, man.
They are. Yes, they are. Last night, speaking of Hollywood, they did a whole Hollywood presentation on a Major League Baseball game as the Field of Dreams. Has that just always been there since the movie set?
No, they're going to start this series last year, and then the pandemic hit. But basically, I think the thought is they're going to play a game there every year. And
that's cool. So did they rebuild the field?
Yes, they made it into a Major League stadium, basically.
All right.
Well, field. Yeah.
Huh.
It's really, really
And
cool.
it backs up right against the cornfield.
On
just
all
like in the
sides.
movie. It's really cool. They have the house is there. And last night, here's what happened. Kevin Costner led the teams out onto the field.
Through the corn.
Of course.
Through the corn.
Love it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So well done.
And Kevin's awesome.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he was playing the role.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. What are you doing, Kevin? Do you not know where to go? You walk up to the microphone, man. It's not that hard.
The corn is almost too perfect. I think it's CGI.
The corn was CGI.
Yeah, it's almost
probably
too
right.
perfect.
Probably right. We were just driving through Iowa. There are miles and miles of that kind of
Watch the
perfect
corn, y'all. Watch the corn.
This is
Just
gonna be
like
really
the
cool.
movie.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. So cool.
The players come out for the Yankees and White Sox. So good.
And there's White Sox there, which is a big deal, right? Because that fits the movie. That's really cool. And they just kept coming.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah, nice. Really cool.
I ended with a walk-off homer. I mean, it was perfect last night.
And who won? The White Sox?
White Sox won, yeah.
Okay.
And they had some sky shots from drones of the field that was really cool. I think the people had to park in Georgia.
Yeah,
that
was
were there.
I think the
Because
parking
there was
lot
no
was a
parking.
long way.
They had to bus them in, I bet, or something, because when they did the sky shots, it was like
Corn mazes around. Yeah, there was a lot going on around that stadium. Yeah.
I can attest to the fact that there's a lot of corn, though, in
Yeah.
Iowa. We drove by miles and miles and miles of 8-foot-tall cornfields. Just, it never stops.
It's almost as if they know what they're doing.
It's almost as if the stereotype you have of Iowa is actually true. Like there's a lot of cornfields in Iowa. So that was cool. That's a cool night for Major League Baseball. You know, I probably spent a fortune on that.
Oh, yeah.
Hope it's worth it for them. But
for just those few hours, you just forgot how chaotic this world is.
I wish I would have watched.
Yeah, it's
me too.
It was a good escape.
Me too. And everybody's showing the footage, so I guess it's okay with Major League Baseball if we show this.
Sure, it's newsworthy. It's a newsworthy event, man. Don't do this.
There's nobody more picky than Major League Baseball.
Sure it is.
Well, except for the Grammy Awards or the Oscars. Yeah. The Oscars, I think you can't. I don't think even as a news event you can show anything from them.
They don't want any of that.
You can't even do audio from the Oscars.
Right, that's crazy.
Major League Baseball is probably okay with this for today.
We're promoting your event.
They don't care.
We're promoting your event. Why would you not want that? It's just really bizarre. 888-900-3393. I wonder how much corn got plowed over last night. It had to be. The corn prices just went up because we lost about 1,000 acres of corn.
But it was all for Major League Baseball, and you're able to forget your cares.
Yeah.
It was all good.
So you go hungry for a few days. Don't worry about it.
So what?
Maybe we'll get you some alfalfa to eat, and you'll like it.
Sorghum.
Also, really interesting happening yesterday from one of our sponsors. Full disclosure, obviously, Built Bar is a big sponsor, and we love them, and I love them even more now. I actually teared up yesterday when they reached a deal with BYU to pay all 123 football players on the team in one of those NIL deals, the name, image, and likeness, where they can make money now. So they made an arrangement with BYU to pay every single player on the team.
To pay them.
So are the players going to be allowed to walk outside of their homes without a Built Bar shirt, hat, gloves,
they're not.
Shoes, anything?
No, they're not. They actually, they're going to have Built Bar stickers on their helmets, I think, for practice. Mm-hmm. But not for the games. I think it's an NCAA violation for games, so they won't be able to do
they all
that.
wear Nikes.
Yeah, the Nike.
Adidas and everything.
That's a different deal. Yeah, that's a different deal. Nike is paying. They basically pay for college football and basketball, But they also part of that deal is to pay the tuition of all the walk-ons on the team. There are 36 of them, and they're going to pay the tuition of them. That's really cool.
BYU has 36 walk-ons?
Yeah.
What a bunch of cheapies.
Wow. Yeah, you have a listener, McKay Christensen, who said his son-in-law is one of those who is benefiting from this tuition thing from
really?
Built.com.
I mean, that's a cool thing.
Cool. That is cool. Well, everybody has that because you only have a limited number of scholarships you're allowed to offer. And so anybody else who's on the team got to be a walk-on. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Why not go to another school? You get a scholarship.
Well, you could. Yeah, you could. But a lot of people want to go to BYU because they've got the best football team in the country.
Is that confirmed? Is that actually confirmed? Okay.
Yes, it's
I must have missed that confirmation.
Yeah, you must have. You must have. That was confirmed a long time ago.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Also, I love the fact that freedom is just spreading all over not just the country but the planet right now. I mean, people are just so filled with the desire to have freedom.
That's good.
And to be free and to act free and to speak freely. It's really inspiring.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah, it's heartwarming and inspiring. I think a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, one of the Australian health officials was telling Australians what they can and can't do, basically. Here's a reminder of her speech.
We all need to work together. We need to limit our movements. We need to consider whenever we leave our house that anyone with us, anyone we come into contact with, could convey the virus. So whilst it is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly, unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. Right. So if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles, Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop,
any other
don't start up a conversation.
Get what you need.
Don't start a conversation.
For minimising your interactions with others. Even if you've got a mask, do not think that affords total protection. We want to be absolutely sure that as we go about our daily lives, we do not come into contact with anyone else that would pose a risk.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So don't talk to anybody. Don't look at anybody. Don't go near anybody.
It's my kind of pandemic.
Yeah, really. No, really. Can that apply to Walgreens and CVS employees, please? I'd love that.
Can we play this safe even after the pandemic? I just want to play it safe. No talking.
Okay, again, this is for a nation that has had, last count, 924 deaths.
Yeah, well, on the screen,
924.
Well, that lady was talking. The one note from the news company said 1 woman in her 50s has died. Oh. Okay.
Huh.
I mean, I guess we should lock down the country.
Oh,
even
yeah, right
more
there.
Then. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if we still have.
I don't want the 1 woman in her 50s to die, but
I don't either. But it's going to happen.
Rob, do you have the numbers that Saves 84 posted from New South Wales, from that particular locale, of how few people? Look at this here. We've tested 120,000 people in 24 hours. Okay, we have a whole 344 cases. Out of 120,000 tests, we have 344 new cases, a grand total active cases of 5,000. I mean,
90 lives lost. Is that since the beginning?
No, that's
of the pandemic.
Yeah. So, in New South Wales, correct? Yes. I mean,
wow,
it's minuscule as far as their numbers there, and yet their country it's draconian, man.
Well, it might be minuscule there, but as you know, Texas, almost everybody in the state is dead now.
Yes.
Just about every living person is no longer living.
Yes.
In Texas.
Yes. In fact, well, maybe the numbers got it. Maybe they got a little better. The Texas Tribune, remember they posted something, and then they had to issue an immediate correction yesterday. Do we have that excerpt from that article? Is that a graphic, Rob, or no? Okay. Well, it's over there. So basically, they had to completely change their numbers. We'll get those in a second here.
Yeah, because they said that over 5,000 children, I think it was 5,800 children.
Yeah.
5,800 children have been hospitalized in this new outbreak. No, that's since the start of the pandemic. We've had 5,800 children who have been hospitalized. Since the start of the pandemic. So it's been a year and a half, and they tried to jam that all into 1 week. Why do they just keep lying about this stuff?
Yes, they do.
And I don't know how they think they can get away with it, that nobody's paying attention to your lies. This governor's office is going to notice that kind of stuff, and they did. And so they sent out a thing. It turned out to be 700 in the last 6 weeks. Not the last week. 700 kids have been hospitalized in the last 6 weeks. So a far cry from 5,800 in 1 week. And so they continue to just try to ramp up the hysteria on this thing. And for many, it's working.
It's definitely working.
They're going to keep doing it because, it does work. And people do panic. And then they start to think, all right, anybody who's not vaccinated is maybe going to kill me.
Yeah. What fascinates me with that is that even though we're hearing from every corner that the vaccines aren't doing what they said they were going to do, we still have these mandates from municipalities, from companies, from businesses. It's insanity. But if you want to see the ultimate fear porn video, it is exactly... Play the thing that they're using to scare people into getting the vaccine and stuff, if you would, please. Watch this, Pat.
If you are to catch COVID and your body cannot fight any longer, then we will make you as comfortable as possible.
That's nice.
We will wash your body with warm flannels and gently roll you, then surround you with white cloud pillows to prevent painful areas developing. We will hold your hand and talk to you gently, laugh at ourselves and sing songs. We will turn on the electric oil burner to envelope you in sweet, calming fragrance.
Getting you ready for death, Pat.
The lights will be low.
Lights will be low.
You can relax now.
You can relax.
When you're very close to the end, your family will be called. Salty tears splashing across their cheeks while they whisper, "I love you," into the receiver. Lifetime away. At At the end, after your last breath, we will be there to offer condolences. Sorry we couldn't do more. Sorry your heart is broken. We will care for you until the caretaker comes to zip you up in a thick rubber cadaver bag.
Oh my God.
Cadaver bag.
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
Is it a joke?
Look, watch it. You brave COVID denier. Look at the legacy you've left behind.
Okay.
You are now free.
Free.
See? They're mocking your desire to be a free human being. And they're saying, you denied this was a real thing. So now you're dead.
Who did this?
I don't know exactly. I got to find that. Yeah.
That is some bizarre stuff. That's really bizarre. And so now you're free. Okay. All right. That's great. I can't stand these people. I can't stand these people.
It was on the...
With all the intensity of a trillion White House
They're going to be
sons.
on the phone talking to your relatives, letting them know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A lifetime away.
She just died. Gotta go now.
I don't know who created this, but it was posted on the news.com.au website, Australia, so it's out there in the main news sources.
Wow.
Yay.
Wow. And here's another indication of how bad things are right now. There was a fully vaccinated man who died, fully vaccinated. A woman's fully vaccinated father died from COVID-19, with her saying, quote, I can't imagine how much more he would have suffered if he had not gotten the vaccine. Are you kidding me?
It's a cult.
Wow. How much more can you suffer than to death?
Well, I mean...
He died. Yeah, would have been worse. Wait, how does it get worse than dead?
Did he feel any pain before he died?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, no.
Of course he did. The doctor repeated the same stupid thing as well. How
old was this guy?
He was...
Did it say?
I think in his 50s, if I remember right. Yvonne Rodriguez saw her ill father, Patricio Elizondo, for the last time at the hospital. She remembered him struggling to breathe on his own. Well, wait, he was struggling to breathe just like everybody else is struggling to breathe on COVID who have it really bad. So the vaccine didn't prevent him from doing that. When Rodriguez saw an x-ray of her father's chest, it explained that he had contracted COVID-19 despite being fully vaccinated and being cautious. Initially, she thought her father was experiencing a flare-up of congestive heart failure or a recurring infection. In addition to heart problems, he had diabetes, making him a greater risk.
All kinds of underlying issues.
All kinds, yeah. But he mostly stayed indoors and wore his mask, not knowing where he got the virus that ultimately killed him. So on Tuesday, he died after succumbing to lung complications related to COVID-19.
But it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Right.
Could have been a whole lot worse.
He could have double died or triple died
Yes.
or super mega Doppler died.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If we would have tried to save him and bring him back, then he would have died again. So we didn't want to do that.
You just mentioned he had diabetes. And these deaths are tragic, but the CDC themselves says 94% of COVID deaths have underlying comorbidities. Okay? Have other things going on with them that make this worse. Maybe those are the people that need to lock down. Those are the people that need to stay away from society instead of telling the rest of us to.
But we're told, okay, well, yes, people are getting, sure, you're going to get the virus anyway. But it'll be less severe.
Right.
And you won't die. So now they have died. There's been people who have died fully vaccinated. And now we're told, okay, he got severely sick and died.
But it's not like they ever sold it like that, Pat.
It would have been a lot worse.
He'd have suffered a lot more.
Are you saying that they sold this as the end-all, be-all cure to stop this from being an issue if you just got the vaccine?
Well, they
Who
did
said that?
initially.
Any voice of authority that you know of?
Yes, every voice of authority.
You are protected
when you're
from
vaccinated,
getting infected.
Oh, okay.
And you are protected from getting anybody else infected.
Oh.
Because if you don't get infected, you're not going to spread it to anybody else.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. That was before the variants, though.
Oh, before the variants. Okay, June 29th. Okay.
So,
wow.
Just shut up.
Mm-hmm. That guy, that Dr. Fauci, he is He's a smart one. He's been on top of everything. At least he's been consistent and steady and hasn't changed course whatsoever throughout this whole thing on any issue.
Yeah, and you can still die, but it won't be as bad. Your death. Your death won't be as bad.
It's not like you're not going to die anyway.
But your death won't be as bad?
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. It could have been worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah, you could have double died or triple died. You don't want that.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Nobody wants that.
I can't.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, how they say these things with a straight face, it's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible. It's like we're all, what, you think you're talking to 4-year-olds here?
Yes, they do.
They really do think we're
continued to
incredibly
talk
stupid.
To everyone like that. Absolutely do.
I can't. I can't even take it. But there's a doctor who has broken down over COVID. This is cut number 7.
Oh, CBS, yeah.
Doctors like Pia Myers, who had this message.
I'm trying to encourage everybody to please take this Delta variant very seriously due to the transmissibility. It's incredibly contagious, and our children are getting sick. I can't do this.
Wait, was she laughing or crying there?
Clearly overcome with emotion.
Clearly overcome with emotion. No, she was clearly, I think she might have been laughing about it because she's putting on a performance here.
All right, let's watch. Please,
see it again. Let's see it again.
Please.
Doctors like Pia Myers, who had this message.
I'm trying to encourage everybody to please take this Delta variant very seriously due to the transmissibility. It is incredibly contagious, and our children are getting sick. I can't do this.
I think she's laughing.
It feels like
it's a tough call. It's a tough call.
I think she's laughing. She broke up
because as she starts to pretend that she's crying, so then she starts laughing.
Yes.
It almost looks like that.
And CBS said, no, let's use that because it looks like she's breaking down and crying.
Right.
But really, the lady's probably laughing because I can't believe they're buying this.
Yeah. And then the reporter comes back.
Overcome with emotion.
Oh, obviously overcome with
emotion.
Clearly overcome with emotion.
No.
Oh, we got to save that one.
No, she's not.
Let's save that quote.
Well, she is. Just not the emotion you wanted, really.
Let me tell you about realestateagentsitrust.com because these are people, well, that you can trust to help you sell your home or help you buy a home or do both if you're relocating to a new area. In a lot of areas, this is still a really good time to sell your house. We just had our realtor over to the house yesterday because we're thinking about selling it.
Oh.
And they told us that in some price ranges, they're selling for over $100,000 over asking price. That's how in demand homes are in some price ranges. I don't know if it's yours, but you can talk to your real estate agent you trust about it because this is a great time. And it might not last forever. So you might want to get on this pretty quickly because they'll be able to advise you on what to do. Like they told us, we got to paint the house white because white is what everybody wants. Those racists.
Wow.
Why are people so ugly racist?
What kind of neighborhood is this?
Why?
Wow. Did you walk them out of the gate when they left?
Yes.
Okay.
So get a hold of realestateagentsitrust.com because they will sell your home quickly and for the most amount of money or help you get the most out of buying your next home. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Gray Unleashed.
The stories where it's even more than 100,000. Those prices on those homes are incredible. Yeah. And they are. Yeah. I mean, they are way past going through the roof. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, they told us that it's not just Californians that are coming here and paying cash either.
Correct.
It's people from Colorado and from all over where homes are much more expensive than they are here, and they just got a lot to spend. And so they come here, and it's great if you're selling your house, but then you got to turn around and buy something.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Then you get dinged.
They're also going to start. I mean, these people that are coming from the Northeast to Texas and Florida, and obviously from the West and the Northwest to Texas and Florida,
New York,
are starting to get pay cuts from their positions because they were all working from home. You know, Google, Netflix, all the Silicon Valley companies, all the big investment companies in New York that are saying that all the people were working from home, and they're saying, we're going to go ahead and pay you less because you're not living here anymore. So that's it might be a time to sell now before they start making less money.
Yeah. Well, there's another incentive to go to Texas because you'll get a pay raise. If you're coming from New York, you get a 12% pay raise right off the start because we don't have income tax. So there goes that 12% right there. You don't have to worry about it. They're not going to take it from you. It's pretty enticing. Just don't do it if you're a liberal, though. We don't want your mentality here. No. You know where you should go is Iowa. Yes.
They
love New Yorkers
beautiful.
There. And a lot of corn. You'll never run out of corn on the
Major
cob.
League Baseball. You're still going to have professional sports.
Sure. You got the Yankees. You can still watch the Yankees. They just played last night in Iowa. So, yeah, go there.
You might find a job, but you have to park in Georgia. Is that right, Jeff?
Yes, that's right. They'll bust you in. No problem. Give you a golf cart. Just drive in.
So we got burned again by yet another Supreme Court justice. And it's a Supreme Court justice I thought I was pretty confident in that she would stay conservative. Amy Coney Barrett. And already she has refused to, she turned away a challenge to Indiana University's requirement that all students be vaccinated against COVID-19. Hello, Amy, are you in favor of freedom or not? Apparently the answer is not, because she turned it away. Giving no explanation, Barrett yesterday summarily denied a request to block the vaccine mandate from 8 students who said their constitutional rights were being violated. Amy Coney Barrett! She's like, nope, sorry, you got to get vaccinated. Okay.
We do good with judges, right?
Don't we, though?
Man. And that Supreme
Court. We can't get it right. We just can't get it right.
It might be time to pack the court. It might be time to pack the court. It's just a thought.
So that we can have even worse.
Even worse.
I was hoping for better, actually.
No. I mean, like Republicans, if they were in power right now, I have no faith that they would put good people in to pack a court.
No.
What are they illustrated?
No, they would not. It never works out.
It doesn't.
It never works out.
Since Scalia worked out, obviously, but we lost him. I
think Alito maybe is.
Alito has worked out pretty well. Yeah. And, of course, Clarence Thomas has worked out really well. Clarence Thomas is probably maybe the most solid constitutionalist of all time.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He is a rock and unshakable.
Yeah. So when was Scalia? So literally, you just named the 3 conservatives that we've had in recent times. Mm-hmm. You had to go back 39 years since Scalia was appointed in 1982, right?
Wow.
We've had 3 conservative judges in 40 years.
Crazy.
Come on.
That is great. Because Kavanaugh's been iffy. He's been good on some things, not so good on others. And the same with Gorsuch. Been good on some, not so good on others.
And now Amy.
The left constantly has, you could put RBG in that camp, we don't have to worry about that one. When we look at cases, we're like, we'll probably, right? We'll get 4, maybe 5. Whereas they can just be like, yep, check, Breyer.
We supposedly have the majority, too. We should win every single case. Every single case. But that's just not what's happening.
No, that's just the majority on paper.
Yeah, that's all it is on paper.
And that rejection of that case is may end up being our point later as we go down the line with all these stupid mandates and all these requirements. You better get the vaccine. The vaccine that doesn't work, you better get it.
And they never have to worry about that. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg was alive, did they ever think, well, how's Ruth gonna rule on this one? Not once.
Exactly.
Not ever.
Ugh, nightmare.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Hello, welcome to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Thank you, Jeffy.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Oh, we were just talking about RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, how consistent she was. And we can't seem to find consistent constitutionalists, not even conservatives, but the people who toe the constitutional line. If you're on the Supreme Court, you have one job. One. Is it constitutional according to the United States Constitution? That's it.
Not the South African Constitution?
No, not the Canadian. And listen to what RBG said about all that.
You should certainly be aided by all the Constitution writing that has gone on.
This is, advice on how you put together a constitution if you're building a new constitution in your country.
Since the end of World War II.
What?
I would not look to the U.S. Constitution if I were drafting a constitution in the year 2012.
Isn't that fascinating? So it's the year 2012 when she's saying this. She wouldn't look to the U.S. Constitution. That's her one job, to look to the U.S. Constitution, and she wouldn't do it. And by the way, she didn't do it. She didn't look to the U.S.
Yeah, it was always, I was thinking we were laughing about.
It was international law.
I was thinking we were laughing about, everyone didn't wonder, I wonder if RBG's going to, how she's going to vote.
Right. How will Ruth vote on this? How do you think she'll rule?
Because when she actually did rule differently than what you thought, it was a shock. And I don't know that I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
I can't think of a time when that would have happened. I can't think of one.
I might look at the Constitution of South Africa.
South
That was a deliberate attempt.
It was a deliberate attempt.
Have a fundamental instrument of government that embraced basic human rights.
Basic human rights, because we know nothing about that here.
Had an independent judiciary.
Oh, an independent judiciary? What an idea!
How's that going in South Africa, by the way?
No, not well. Of course, it's not going that well right now here, but in 2012 it was better. I mean, an independent judiciary?
It really is. I think
3 co-equal branches of government. One of them is the independent judiciary.
Huh.
Did she go to college or what?
A great piece of work that was done.
Great piece of work.
Much more recently than the U.S. Constitution. The
one in Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, I love it.
Has a Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
They know what they're doing. The Canadians, you kidding me?
1982.
Oh, in 82. Well, that's way better than 1791 or 87 when it was originally written, voted on, passed.
Whatever. One of those dates in there. It's old and dusty.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? She was horrifically bad. A horrifically bad Supreme Court justice.
We're talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes, we are
now,
talking.
Right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Rest her soul. She was awful. The worst. 888-900-3393. Got some tweets here. Andrew Coppins tweets, they have kept the field from the movie, but they didn't use it for the game.
That was the little one off to the side. Okay.
I
guess.
MLB built a field next to it to accommodate the 8,000 fans and whatever.
All right, don't bog us down with facts.
Amazing
it's the same
either
thing.
way. It's still cool. It's still cool.
Same field.
Same thing.
Unsophisticated party animal tweets. Are they allowed to make eye contact in Australia, or does a long stare spread the virus too? It does. It does. So they're not. They're disallowed.
I mean, they would shoot you dead.
Yeah.
You're walking down the streets of Sydney.
If they had guns, they would.
Yeah.
But they do stab you to death. They stab you to death if you look too long at somebody. Real Random G can't rise up against the totalitarians if you don't talk to others. It's great.
Yeah. Keep us apart.
President Brain Freeze, you know what? Creepy Australian commercial lady. I'd sooner die alone in the woods while vultures circle above me than have you anywhere near me.
Yeah.
From Freedom Unicorn, so if we start calling heroin a vaccine, can universities and employers mandate that too?
Oh, Jeffy, write that down.
I am a fan of that.
Write that down. You're not writing it down.
I don't need to.
Clearly, vaccine is becoming a loosely redefined term, along with the rest of the leftist dictionary.
Yeah, so true.
And by the way, the mRNAs are not vaccines. They're just not. They're treatments, really.
Right.
They're not vaccines. The Johnson & Johnson is a vaccine. The AstraZeneca is a vaccine. And I understand that one's working pretty well. In England, too. It seems like the AstraZeneca would be the one to take. It's a one-shot thing They've had, I think, fewer side effects that I know of, and I think it seems to be working against the Delta virus. But here's a rich guy who is telling us that, coronavirus is not a thing for the rich.
Oh, no. Let me tell you something,
it's not
man.
a thing.
When this corona thing was going on, I flew here from Romania on Wizz Air because you can't get first-class flights into Europe. It's all just low-cost carriers. I'm flying Wizz Air. I have a mask on. Excuse me, sir, put the mask over your nose. This air stewardess, this minimum wage. So I put my mask on. Everyone was freaking out about masks. I had to fill in all these home office papers when I landed, all this crap, PCR test, blah, blah, blah. I thought I'm not doing that again. So about 2 months later, I flew on a private plane. No mask, no PCR test, no home office paperwork. My pilots weren't wearing masks. When I landed at Biggin Hill Airport, the people who met me in the BMW, no one was wearing a mask. Nobody had a mask on. No one asked me to fill in shit. Do you know why? Because I was rich. Corona doesn't exist for the rich people. As soon as you pay $50,000 for a flight, no, they don't trouble you then. They trouble the muncher on the Wizz Air flight. It's all a scam. All of it's a scam.
Thank you.
And this is how the whole world has always worked and always will work. And people at the bottom just don't seem to get it. They don't seem to wake up. And they don't seem to wake up because the people in charge try very hard to keep them asleep. If you had a whole bunch of people who were your slave, why would you tell them the truth about the world? Why would you do that? No. When's the last time you went to school and learned how money works, or banks work, or taxes, or any of the things that they use to control you? No. They teach about photosynthesis. They don't want you to know anything. They don't want us to know anything. They just want us sitting there going, okay, he's a panda, and I stay in my house because of Corona. Clap for the NHS. Like a performing seal. Like an idiot. And people are idiots. So they control them. And then they come to me and go, Tate, how'd you make all this money? I opened my eyes. I looked around me. I started to think.
So,
things that people never seem to do. I don't know how they live in a dream for so long. I woke up out of the dream, right? But this is the truth. Governments are absolutely the enemy of the people. They always have been. They always will be.
Yep. Interesting.
It is.
Interesting.
That was very interesting.
And that, boys and girls, is the way of the world.
Interesting.
Is there a number of people can call about that?
It's right there on the wall.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's interesting. It's interesting.
Nobody on the line yet. Sorry.
Should we call my mom in heaven?
That'd be a fun segment.
Yeah, darn it. I had to bring my mom into it.
No, you brought your mom into it.
No, he did. He did.
Wait,
I did.
No, I
did
did
not.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm sorry, you did.
No, I wouldn't bring your mom into it. I know how much she meant to you.
She did. Yes, she did.
Now I'm thinking about my mom. Thanks. Thanks.
Is your mom gone too?
Yes.
For how long?
Long time.
Long time.
I don't even remember.
It's only 4 years for
Whatever.
mine. 4 years.
I'm thinking of my mom. Hi, Mom. Love you.
Keith's mom's alive. Thanks for rubbing
Whatever.
that in.
Thanks. Yeah, no kidding.
Bastard.
Yeah.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about Rough Greens, because if your dog is a little lethargic, maybe has gotten less active than when your dog was a puppy, this is something that could definitely help. Rough Greens comes with all these great vitamins and minerals, probiotics, omega oils, and it helps to get your dog active again and healthy again. And they're going to love this stuff. My dog just gobbles up her food when we sprinkle on the Rough Greens. And before, she'd just kind of, eat a little bit of it and then come back to it a couple hours later and then leave again and then a couple hours. One sitting, she'd eat it all. She loves it. Now, some dogs, I think, take some time to warm into it. See if your dog is one of those, or if your dog loves it initially. They're going to send you a free bag of Rough Greens so you can try it out and see if your dog likes it. All you have to pay is shipping. So go to roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com, roughgreens.com, or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
So Chucky Schumer tried to plow through the For the People Act, which is the opposite, as we all know. It's the Against the People Act.
Democrats are getting bolder.
Did they
and bolder.
rename it?
Huh?
Did they rename it? It's Against the People Act?
No, we know we're every time they name an act like for the people, you know it's the opposite of that.
Okay.
So we've sort of renamed it the Against the People Act, but thank you for wasting our time.
That was worth it.
But he tried to get this through in the middle of the night, right? With like 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you remember they passed all that massive infrastructure, whatever bullcrap bill.
Yeah, the $1.2 billion.
And so it's time. Let's all go and go. Time to go to bed. Let's go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Ted Cruz was still hanging around the Senate when Chuck tried to do this. Yeah, watch this. He's trying to get it through unanimous support, right?
Unanimous consent.
Consent. Thank you. And Ted Cruz is like, I don't think so.
Reserving the right to object. This bill would constitute a federal government takeover of elections.
Right.
It would constitute a massive power grab by Democrats. Mm-hmm. It would disenfranchise millions of Americans. And it would do precisely the opposite of its nominal title, for the people. It is instead for the politicians, because it entrenches politicians and ensures that the people cannot vote them out of office. It would strike down virtually every reasonable voter integrity law in the country, including voter ID laws supported by the overwhelming majority of this country, including prohibitions on ballot harvesting, again, widely supported by people in this country. It would mandate that felons be allowed to vote, and it would automatically register millions of illegal aliens to vote. It would profoundly undermine democracy in this country, and for that reason, I object.
Yes!
The objection is heard.
Yes!
And he's just like, oh, crap.
Ted Cruz.
Here.
Ted Cruz just saved the Republic.
He
just saved the Republic.
Understanding was that it's almost like an inside joke. Like, okay, look, after we do this thing, you guys, Democrats, hang around. We're going to do this unanimous consent.
So if they can get everybody who's there at the time, like 3 a.m, to say yes, then the bill passes.
Yeah, that clip right there you saw was Ted Cruz on watch at 3:30 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, 3:30 in the morning, Ted Cruz shows up at the Senate with these Democrats. He's the only one. I think he's the only Republican who was there.
That's incredible.
Ted Cruz saved the Republic. That's amazing. Thank you.
Send him a thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
Kidding.
Call his office.
Seriously, what do we do without Ted Cruz?
He's got to know we see him.
Say what you will about his speeches, charisma, connecting with the public. I don't care. The guy does things like this.
Yes.
On a fairly regular basis. He's phenomenal. And I thank God for Ted Cruz, because that would have been a disaster right there.
Yes.
So he saved our bacon.
He earned your vote right there, just from
he
that
sure did.
60 seconds.
Did.
Your objection's been heard?
I don't care about whatever thing he did with Trump or didn't do with Trump or then did do again, and I don't care. That was worth him being in office.
Yes.
Just that move was everything we could have hoped for from him. Jeez. What happens if nobody shows up and it's just the Democrats and they get unanimous consent? We're screwed. We're screwed with the For the People Act. Wow.
Yeah, they didn't rename it.
That was a close one.
That's actually...
Yeah, they did not rename it. Okay. So, yeah, I didn't want you to be confused.
Just wondering.
Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. Plus, we have this awesome woman. Speaking of awesome things like Ted just did there, we got this awesome woman speaking out
in office
about education and mandates in New York.
I've lived in New York for 36 years, born and raised in Queens. I am a product of public school education. I am also a single mother of a very bright, smart, common sense having, critical thinking, guarded up, 17-year-old young man who knows the difference between propaganda and truth. And it wasn't because of me. He saw who I was, but God gave him the rest. And I thank God that he's like that. He graduated high school. They tried to take that away from him through remote learning by giving him the downgrade of education. He graduated, and thanks be to God, he's out. I am also an 8-year New York City Department of Education employee. And guess what? I turned my back on them because I refuse to be manipulated. I refuse to be a guinea pig. I refuse to be their petri dish. I will not wear a mask. I will not be tested. And you know what? We have the freedom to choose whether we want a vaccine or not, and I choose no. I have that right to choose no. And you know what? The mayor should be ashamed of himself. His mother should be ashamed of himself. Cuomo, his mother should be ashamed of herself for raising individuals that don't walk in the light to know. America is a country of freedom. We are not slaves. They tried to pump the whole thing about CRT. Oh, we need to teach everyone about slavery. Guess what? Slavery's knocking on our door right now.
Yeah.
We don't need CRT to teach us. We don't need that.
Fantastic.
What we need right now is our God-given rights to be pumped in these schools so that these kids know to stand up when someone's taking away their freedom.
Amen.
I speak all of this. I say all of this. I share my heart. I share my life. Every day, I don't care what has to happen. I heard people saying it in the crowd. I will die doing this because my son, I told my son I was going to a rally. And he said, Mom, you're doing this. You do this all the time. I said, you know why I'm doing it? It's for you, so that my grandkids, when they're sitting on my lap, can know that this country had freedom, will continue to have freedom, and your grandkids are going to grow up with the freedoms that I had. Freedom to choose, freedom to breathe, freedom to live.
I just get chills when I hear people like that. Because we're so beaten down, we're so bludgeoned by the other side of this all the time. You forget. No, there's still people who believe this way.
There was a good crowd there.
Yeah.
That was good to see.
I want her to run for office.
She should. She's obviously incredibly bright. She's well-spoken.
Loves freedom.
That was an inspiring speech right there.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. Just right from the top of her head, too.
And that's happening
good.
at school board meetings and
all
city
over the
council. People are doing that, and they are speaking out, and hopefully,
there is hope still.
Stemming the tide in their own communities.
Exactly.
And Ted Cruz is stemming the tide in D.C. for us.
Thankfully, somebody is. I mean, who wants to be there at 3:30 in the morning? Nobody. Nobody wants to.
Well, you and I would already be awake. That'd be like our first stop for the day is the Senate chamber.
That's true. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Yeah.
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 In stuff.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we're doing, rock concert voice, but there it is. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hey, Simone Biles is very much pro-abortion. She's just let us all know.
That's good.
Yeah, because she came, or I think her mom came through the foster care system, something like that. Somebody in her family did. And here's the thing. Do you know that adoption is hard and it's expensive?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So she knows somebody who was in the foster care system. And so I guess you would have rather have been aborted and not exist than go through the foster care system.
Well, it's hard.
Yeah, I know. She said, I already know this is going to be the biggest argument and may even lose me followers, but I'm very much pro-choice. Your body, your choice. Okay. Well, that explains your stance on getting a vaccine, but it doesn't explain your stance on abortion, since we're talking about the other body inside the woman, not the woman. Okay, so my body, my choice doesn't really apply because it's a different body in there. So,
Simone Biles is good at aborting Olympic competitions, that's for sure.
Yes, she is. She aborted the gold.
That's right.
So that's great. Oof. She also criticized those who suggest putting a baby up for adoption, saying it's not that easy. And coming from someone who was in the foster care system, trust me, and adoption is expensive. I'm just saying. Foster care system is broken and it's tough, especially on the kids and adults who age out.
This is her argument for abortion.
Yes.
So wait, paperwork is her issue?
It's hard. And it's pricey. If it's pricey, then by all means, let's continue to slaughter 1 million babies a year.
Oh, my.
I mean, I don't want it to be pricey, and I don't want there to be paperwork.
Right.
So just keep killing babies all over the planet. Just keep doing it.
There's no paperwork when you want to get an abortion. You just walk in.
Yeah, well, right.
Pretty close.
I'm sure. It's probably pretty close to that.
It is. Well, I was just reading where abortions are resulting in 5 million fewer girls being born in the next decade.
So?
And the United States has a declining female population.
And?
Is it related?
No.
Is it related?
And let's not forget, this will include a wildly disproportionate number of black babies being aborted. Mm-hmm. How many fewer African Americans are there going to be? Many due to abortion.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, still in New York City, there are more abortions of black babies than live births. So you might want to rethink your position on it being expensive and there's a lot of paperwork and it's hard. I don't know.
When you look at the countdown of abortions worldwide this year.
Yeah, what is the count right now?
26 million. 196,445, 46, 47, 48, 49,
we talked about
50,
it last week,
51.
And it was 24 million. It's up 2 million already in a week or two.
But think of the trees saved on the lack of having to do paperwork now.
Okay, sure.
So for the adoptions.
Sure.
Everything's a trade-off.
And some people save some money. And because they didn't have to
because it's
put them
hard
up for adoption because it's hard and it's expensive.
You know this.
So there you go. So 26 million worldwide. Does it single out the U.S.? How many so far in the U.S.?
I was just trying to see where the 10 countries with the lowest rates of abortion. Who's the number one country?
Got to be Muslim countries, right? Have to be.
Number one country looks like it's Russia.
For abortions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Russia's number one. The United States is down the list. 2, 4, 6, 8,
is this
10,
percentage
12.
or is this
12?
Yeah.
And who does it say who does the least abortions in the world?
Yeah, it does. Mexico.
Mexico?
15.24 per 100,000, I think, something like that. That's the number.
Wow.
But yeah, abortion rate. Russia has 53.7
per 100,000.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Wow.
Might even be more than that, actually. But that's, U.S. is looking good.
Yeah, just 12. We're number 12. We're number 12. Well, the Democrats are working on getting us up that list. They're trying to get us to number one. They want us to be number one. They want that desperately.
They keep making adoption hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's only millions of parents that want to adopt. So, just millions. So a lot of those babies just go unwanted.
It is true that it's frustrating, the adoption process.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is frustrating.
Well, it's got to be a tough process. You're actually offering a child, a human being to people. You want to make sure that, they're going to be okay, right?
Right.
So it's a hard process. It's tough. And maybe it should be. I don't know. But should it be that expensive? Probably not. But should we just abort babies if it is hard and expensive? No, I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no on that.
That seems like a no to me.
It does seem like a no. All right, got some tweets here. Not your vaccine crash test dummy. Well, yes, you are. Yes, you are. If you get the COVID-19 vaccine, you're guaranteed paradise and 100 virgins should you die. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
I give you my word as a Biden.
Yeah, now we know how Jeffy was convinced.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Up his sleeve.
And you get that's 100. That's 28 more than the usual 72 when you die in jihad. So that's pretty good.
Plus, I want to back up for just a second. These abortion rates are per 1,000 women.
Oh wow.
1,000, not 100,000. Oh my gosh. 57 per 1,000.
53.7 in Russia per 1,000. So it's 20 in the U.S., 20.8 in the U.S.
Wow.
But that's per 1,000 women.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Sophisticated COVID immune tweets. Why is death from COVID somehow uniquely bad? People are literally dying from other preventable ways because of measures we're taking to prevent COVID deaths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just as long as people die from something that isn't COVID, it's an acceptable death? That's the way they're treating it right now.
You got it, America 2021, right there.
From Alan Trotter, RBG, only looked to the Constitution when she was burning it. That's true. Sadly, that's true. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hey, don't forget to show your friends and family, share the show with them. You can do that on YouTube, youtube.com/Pat Gray.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The show is posted every day at 4 Eastern, so 3 Central Time, 2 Mountain, 1 Pacific.
Wow.
YouTube.com/Pat Gray. Go there and share it with people. Plus, you can download the podcast anytime you want. Wherever you get your podcast, please rate that and subscribe. That would help us a lot.
All of these links are posted every day on Pat's Twitter page, at Pat Unleashed.
Another good thing to do is buy yourself some cookies to eat while you listen to the show and watch the show. You can do that at Kexi.com because those are really, the planet's best cookies.
Seriously, you don't even have to leave your home. You can listen to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah.
And eat Kexi cookies. Mm-hmm. You don't have to leave your home.
True.
Everything comes right to you.
Yeah, it comes right to you.
It's amazing.
All of it.
I know. Technology is a wonderful thing.
Isn't it, though?
It is.
You could probably listen to the At the Mic thing, too. That what's his face over here does.
Oh, you couldn't enjoy cookies while you listen to that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait,
Yeah,
the cookie suddenly tastes bad when you're listening to atthemicshow.com?
Yeah, like, oh, man.
Wow.
I thought these cookies were supposed to be good.
Now, what would happen if you're eating the cookies while watching, let's say, Chewing the Fat?
You'd order more.
And you're going to gain weight
more.
at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Good. Have we promoted everything we possibly can here? Hopefully.
Oh, don't forget your Don't Vax Me Bro t-shirt. It's a great time to be buying that at patheadshop.com.
Right?
Don't Vax Me Bro. Those t-shirts. This is when you need to be wearing those loud and proud.
That's awesome.
Don't Vax Me Bro.
All right. 888-900-3393. The other thing is Built Bar. I want to talk to Nick Greer from Built Bar. Maybe we can do that Monday if he'll agree to come on. He just did that incredible deal with BYU where he's paying, he got into an NIL deal with all 123 football players on the team. Amazing. And he's paying the tuition of all the walk-ons. It means you're not on scholarship.
Right.
So your tuition's not being paid. So this deal pays the tuition of all 36 walk-ons. Jeez, that's amazing.
That's nice.
That's really awesome. And what I think Built Bar could use, maybe we can talk to Nick about this too, is an all berries, an oops all berries flavor.
Built Bar?
Where he makes the mistake of oops all berries.
Put that in the suggestion box.
You know, like Captain Crunch does that.
Fantastic.
I've been doing that for 40 years with the oops thing.
I like that.
Oops.
Oops all berries.
No.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, no.
We put all the berries in this one Built Bar.
Oh,
wow.
Shoot.
Wow. That's...
the Built Bar thing, paying for the tuitions, that actually means more to the walk-ons than it does to the scholarship players. Because the scholarship players, that's a done deal, right?
Yes.
They're not paying for it.
Right.
I mean, they're still playing the sport and they're providing the services that they were going to provide anyway.
Yeah. And their whole college life is paid for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Which is really nice.
When you talk about, that's why it kills me when I hear the complaints about the players. Oh, they don't get paid. They kind of do.
Yeah. They're getting a free education.
They get a free education, and they get housing,
room and board.
They get housing, and they get food, and they get clothes. I mean, my son didn't pay for clothes for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was
nice.
Nothing. I mean, he was wearing Missouri.
Are they supposed to get clothes?
Stuff. Sure.
That's okay?
Absolutely.
Or did you just talk about an NCAA violation with
no.
with Elvis Fisher?
No, it was Missouri. It was school stuff.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because all the kids at Nebraska walked around in Adidas clothes. You always knew who was on the football team when we were there.
Right.
Because it was
they're with Adidas instead of Nike.
I mean, 30 years ago they were.
Yeah,
that's why we kicked them out of the Big 12, to be honest. Get out of here. What are you doing?
Boy, that was cute how Missouri wanted to be in the Big Ten for the longest time and we're completely shunned, but whatever.
Yeah, they're really slumming it in the SEC.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
I feel bad for them. Yeah, the crappy SEC, they had to settle for that. All right, let's go to Zach in Florida. Hey, Zach, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, first of all, you guys are the best show. I mean, seriously, ever. So, and I love you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
You are a genius.
So anyway,
a genius.
I am a genius.
You're a genius with incredibly
that.
good taste. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Anyway, last night we're watching Pluto TV at 10:30, and I'm watching that Walking Dead channel, the AMC stories.
Okay.
Nice.
And Glenn's Coca-Cola commercial came on.
Oh. Yeah, that's
the one where the kid's jabbing the needle in his belly.
Yeah. That's actually, he didn't actually produce that. He just plays it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's on the AMC Stories channel on Pluto TV. I didn't know that was.
Yeah, because I forget.
Yeah, that company that produces those, that nonprofit that produces those, they're buying. I mean, they bought
some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. It would have been cool if that was Glenn's and they played it. But that probably wouldn't happen.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Pluto may turn down Glenn Beck money.
Yeah, they might. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, too, man. I mean, I'm going to do a special Talking Walking Dead today because next weekend and starting Monday on AMC Plus, the final season, season 11, episode 1 starts this coming week. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Final season
starts this week. Well, Monday on AMC Plus and Sunday the 22nd for you lowly people that don't have the app.
Huh. Okay. And is there any talk that what's his face Rick is coming back?
I don't know. Boy, they need him to come back for sure to make him be part of the world again for the universe because they're still doing the movies and everything. So
they are gonna.
They claim it's all on. It's all the whole Dead universe is still going.
It seems like it's died out a little bit.
Well,
maybe it's just because I don't watch anymore, but I don't hear the.
Well, season 11, we've got like
anymore.
24 episodes left. Right, so I mean, there's 24 episodes is going to be the final season.
We're going to do 24 episodes in the final season?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like old time
wrapping
TV.
it up. Yeah, they're going to wrap it up. And so we'll see how that bodes. But the reason it feels that way is because the numbers you see, when they report that the ratings are down and everything.
Yeah.
But the ratings are down on AMC and the cable numbers, but they've got the app and they've got, I think, 9 million subscribers, 9 or 10 million subscribers to the app, maybe more. So those people are not watching the cable. Those aren't giving the numbers to the cable. So they're pretty, they're making their money. Don't worry about it. They'll be fine.
Well, I wasn't really worried about it.
No, I know, but you sounded concerned that they weren't going to make any money. They just
No,
settled a couple of big lawsuits for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Did they?
And it was just like, go away now. All right, we don't want to have to deal with you anymore. One guy said he wasn't paid enough. Darabont was like he wasn't paid enough, and they ripped him off on some of the contracts, and so they finally settled for a couple $100 million, $225 million, and said, you know what? Yeah,
you mean 225,000?
Right. No, $225 million. You're right. Go ahead. Get out of here. We're done.
Wow.
And
to some actor on the show?
No, he was one of the creators. One of the creators in the very beginning.
Well, no wonder. Yeah. If you helped create that show and you didn't get a lot of money, I could see where they'd pay him off for a couple $100 million. That's been successful for a long time.
Yes, it has.
All right, let me tell you about Gabby Insurance. There's hundreds of companies out there claiming to compare auto and home insurance rates, but there's only one who actually does it. Now, how do they do this? Because you upload your current insurance, and then they take that information and compare it to other, so they're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
So they know what kind of insurance you have and what the boundaries are on your insurance and all the limits and everything. And then they can tell you what you'll pay for comparable coverage somewhere else. It's really a great system. And it doesn't take any time at all. It's really fast, and they're verifiable quotes. They're not just ballpark guesses. So you're going to get a really good deal. And if you find out that, you're paying the best rates and they can't get you a lower rate, then you just know you've got that peace of mind that you're paying the best rate you possibly can. But usually, Gabby's customers save about $961 on average. $961 a year on average. And they'll never sell your info. So there's no annoying spam or robocalls that are coming from Gabby. So put your policy to the test like I did. Get a better insurance rate with Gabby. It's totally free to check out. There's no obligation. Go to Gabby.com/unleashed, Gabby.com/unleashed. Gabby.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray is here.
I am.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Thank you for noticing. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got to play this woman talking about Cuba. Laying down some facts because BLM is all over the Cuban situation. Oh, Cuba's great. Oh, Cuba, how could you protest Cuba? Listen to this.
Dear Black Lives Matter, thank you so much for finally exposing your stupidity. Embargoes don't include food and medicine. You would know that if you were literate. Furthermore, the U.S. provides $20 million every year to Cuba and has done so since 2009. Last year, the United States exported $176 million worth of food and goods to Cuba. And in the first 6 months of 2021, Cuba imported $123 million worth of food from the U.S. Of course, none of that food, money, or medicine ever made it to the Cuban people. The government keeps it because that's what dictatorships do. Embargoes don't kill dissidents. Embargoes don't kill journalists. Embargoes don't make people disappear. Dictatorships do. Communism does. But somehow I think you already knew that. After all, you are a Marxist organization, and you've said so yourself. And I believe you. You're acting just like every other dictatorial communist does. After all, haven't you amassed millions? Isn't that why all of you are so well off? And yet you never gave any money to any of the families whose tragedies you used for your own gain. You just used them to make money. Well, only some of them. The kids didn't really matter, right? But people kept listening to your bullshit because you wrapped it up in race. You used people's insecurities against them. And that's how you made your money in a capitalist nation. But I digress. Since you're all about race, let me remind you that the Cubans suffering in Cuba are brown and black. But because you're Marxist, now you don't know what to say. Do Black Lives Matter? Or is Marxism more important? You've made it pretty clear where you stand. I can only hope that those well-meaning people who followed you and who gave you money now realize that it was all a sham.
Yeah.
Just like communism and socialism are shams.
Yes.
Do Black Lives Matter? Absolutely. But does BLM matter? Absolutely not.
Think about it.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Love it.
Nice. So true. I mean, and I don't know how you dispute any of that. How do you dispute any of it? And especially when you've got their admission.
We are trained Marxists.
Wait, what?
We are trained Marxists.
Marxists,
are trained Marxists.
Trained Marxists. Interesting. That's really weird.
It is.
All right. Well, okay.
If you say so, we'll take you at your word.
And the whole socialist Marxist thing in this country is so out of control. I don't even know if it's meaningful to people anymore. Fox News just did a survey of Democrats, and these Democrats have a better opinion of socialism than they do of capitalism. So that's where the Democrat Party is now. They're lovers of socialism. They're promoters of socialism.
I don't even know what it is.
Probably not. But this survey found 59% of Democrat voters hold a favorable opinion of socialism.
Wow.
59%. 49% have a favorable opinion of capitalism. You believe that? 59 to 49. 44% of Democrats hold an unfavorable view of capitalism compared to 31% who view socialism negatively. Geez, 59% to 31% on socialism.
That's embarrassing.
Oh, my gosh. In the United States of America, how is that possible?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have all kinds of people telling us that capitalism is bad every day.
Yeah, we do. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Not so long ago, companies solely existed to provide products and services. Now, what are they? They're ideological centers, and they support leftist causes. Places like Verizon and AT&T, not Patriot Mobile. And Patriot Mobile, you don't have to sacrifice service and quality with them. They have the same cell towers as the big guys, but your money goes to conservative causes that you believe in. PatriotMobile.com or 972-PATRIOT. Support a company that loves America and loves and shares your traditional family values. PatriotMobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right. 888-900-3393. And a Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Pew Pew One Pew tweets. A wise man once said, I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. Right.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Rants out loud. Simone Biles figured it was easier to just end the pregnancy in the middle of it than to complete all of the adoption paperwork and see it all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
Great job. That's a great tweet.
Tyler, Relentless Daring Media Productions. So Simone Biles thinks my 19-year-old son, 16-year-old daughter, 14-year-old son, and the niece and nephew we have guardianship over should have been aborted instead of put into care. Hope she chokes on her own arrogance. Yeah,
not a good look, Simone.
No, I'm not a fan. I was a fan before the Olympics started,
well, she's
and now we found out
now.
way too much about her.
Yeah, she's struggling
way
now.
too much. Yeah,
confused and doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, and she's just a little girl. Yes. She's only 24. You expect her to know anything at 24?
No.
Extra White tweets, the only good thing about the COVID hoax has been working from home. I got to avoid all the Dem crusaders in the building. Sadly, that will end soon. Yeah, a lot of people want you back.
They sure do.
Office. I wonder if what's his face from Chase? Was it Chase Bank that's doing the get back to work or stay home permanently kind of thing?
Was that Chase or was that Diamond from Goldman Sachs or whatever? It doesn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It was Diamond that said it. Is he with Chase or was he with?
I don't think he's with
Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, I don't remember where these.
Now you've confused me.
I know me.
I know he wants his employees back in the office though.
Yeah, he does.
What we found here, at least according to Glenn, when I've talked to him about it, is that people are even more productive at home than they would be if they came into work.
Other companies have found that out as well.
Yeah,
and which is why people were so ticked. We talked about earlier is why they're saying, well, if I'm more productive, why are you cutting my pay? Well, they're cutting your pay because you're not living in Silicon Valley, or you're not living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You're not living in San Francisco. And so they're cutting all these people's pay, but there's like...
That's not happening here, though. It's my understanding. They're not cutting people's pay for staying home.
I must have missed the look of my checking account.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to redo my...
There is a problem with that, though. I mean, you've got high-rises in New York City that are empty.
Yeah.
And we've got this 150,000 square foot building that's virtually empty.
I was thinking about that, actually. We could probably bus some immigrants into New York and let them take over a few buildings.
Yeah.
Let them stay there.
Okay. Why not?
Right.
You running for mayor?
Yeah. About 20% of them that have COVID, right? And that'd be a nice place to keep them.
We're not worried about the COVID.
We're not worried about them.
It's only 40.
Hold on.
It's only 40% too, by the way.
40%. Yeah, it's 40% of migrants released in Laredo, Texas, tested positive for COVID-19.
40.
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah, of the 5,000.
And this last month was up percentage-wise what came into the country, right? We've had over a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
It was the biggest month in 20 years for it. Yeah, whatever.
It's the pandemic that's causing it. And
sure.
So yeah, Joe Biden, just another 5,000 people across our border today, 40,000 COVID rate. So that's what, 2,000 spreaders coming?
How many are going to come when we publicize even more the fact that we have 10.1 million jobs available and nobody wants them? No Americans apparently want them, and that's why businesses are closing down or reducing their hours or reducing their services all over the country. So then, once that word is out to Mexico, Central, and South America, then how many are going to come?
I know.
Instead of 200,000, it's going to be 2 million a month.
And we keep, I know we had, Kamala down there who's in charge of the border telling them, don't come.
Yeah, right.
But, all we hear is the rumors of amnesty.
Yeah.
So get here now.
Right.
Get here now
Are they
before
gonna
they
make-
rubber stamp it.
So are they going to make illegal aliens get a COVID vaccine passport the way they're making the rest of them?
No.
They're like in New
No.
York and stuff. They're not going to do that?
No. No. Haven't you realized yet? Illegal aliens have special privileges that U.S. citizens don't have, Keith.
Wow.
So it's kind of a stupid question you just asked.
Only 27% of black New Yorkers have gotten the vaccine at this point. But yet they're going to require a vaccine passport to basically exist in New York City. They don't need an ID to vote in New York City, but you're going to need this
That's
special
because
passport.
they can't get ID. That's why.
Right.
Yeah,
but they
can't
can
get
get a vaccine passport for a vaccine that they're not getting?
Don't confuse me with
So they're requiring
like that
a
I can't
vaccine
answer.
passport, but 27% of blacks have gotten the vaccine.
You're not getting the subtle nuances of what I'm saying here. I'm
confused?
just saying
You're
that
saying you're confused.
The important thing is that the illegals have special privileges. Okay, that's that they get things we don't. All right. Okay, so shut up about it.
Noted.
They don't even have to show ID on planes, according to the Biden administration.
Right.
Because they don't have ID, so you don't have to show it, but you can still fly if you're illegal. I mean,
don't try to make sense.
You can't.
Don't.
You can't.
No, you
It's
can't.
impossible.
There's a subtle nuance there that is that we can't understand, right? So don't try to understand.
And but believe that they care about you and COVID and the health of you. Believe that.
Immensely. They
Believe that.
care so much. They care so much.
And we're upping the troops that we're sending back to Afghanistan now, which is good.
Yeah, and we've
we're
upped
only on
our
fire.
troops.
It's like,
Now up yours.
Yeah, right.
And we're exactly doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have the
And
pictures?
by the way, did you see they overran Kandahar?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Taliban just overran Kandahar, the second largest city in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Soon as we leave, Taliban takes over.
Do we have all of the materials that the Taliban is? Look at this. Look at the Humvees we left behind. What is happening? How did we do this? We left literally.
What were we supposed to do? Drive them home?
I mean, we have armed the Taliban.
The Taliban's going to need some nice Humvees.
Thank you.
Oh, they're getting more than Humvees. They're getting drones. They're getting all sorts of things, man. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
It is.
I mean, are they going to be able to use them? The battery's probably dead on that
Sure.
stuff. They don't even work.
There's probably no instruction manual, but that's
good.
That's good. And
That's
China's
good.
getting ready to recognize the Taliban, by the way.
Well, that's what Jen Psaki said, right? It's up to them how they want to be viewed at internationally.
Apparently, legitimately by China.
Yeah, they want a good reputation.
Yes, they do.
I think
It
we all
means a lot
understand
to
that.
them.
It does. It does.
Oh, in no time at all, they'll be serving on the Human Rights Council.
The Taliban also has to make an assessment about what they want their role to be in the international community.
The United Nations will be reaching out before the end of the year. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, we cut the heads off our victims.
Sure.
But that's not all we do. We also bomb restaurants.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're very diversified in their
we're
attacks.
Completely diverse.
We didn't kill every mother of all the children in Afghanistan.
No.
Shut up.
Yes, we kill the infidel, but we also kill a lot of Muslims. We do.
Right.
In fact, we kill more Muslims than infidels. So shut up.
Yeah.
We're oppressed.
It's fair to say that the Taliban, they can say, we give you more choices than the U.S. government. You can either get the vax and participate in society or not get the vax and not participate in society, whereas they give you three options, right? You become Muslim, you pay a tax, or you die. So they give you actually more options
More
than
options.
Taliban than the U.S. government.
More options. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Stephen in North Carolina, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Bingo.
Nice job, Stephen. Came right out of you. I love that. All right. Where did your bingo occur?
First column down.
First column. Absolutely. Starting with subtle nuances, which
Subtle
we just
nuance.
did. Okay. All right. What else?
It is ma'am.
It's ma'am. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oops, all
And
berries.
then oops, all berries is a lie.
Right. Okay.
And then Barack phony ass Obama. There's a point when you made enough money.
Enough money. That's right. Good.
Enough
Good.
money.
Uh-huh. And number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes,
Audible
5.
sniff.
Audible sniff. All right. Did we set you up with the $35 toward a purchase?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Excellent.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for listening.
Calm
Appreciate
down.
it. All right, so he gets $35 worth of merchandise at PatHeadShop.com.
Yay!
Tremendous. I mean, I appreciate him getting that Chewing the Fat merchandise.
No, that's not what he's getting. He's getting something from PatHeadShop.com.
Oh.
Where I don't believe we sell the fat stuff, right? Do we?
It might apply if you suss around a little bit.
No, it might.
It doesn't apply to atthemikeshop.com. That I know.
Okay. All right, way to get another plug.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I am 9 years old and I know that.
Jake in West Virginia, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Yeah, I think we've all been disappointed by the attorneys that get appointed by Republicans to be on the Supreme Court. And I think it's about time we just appoint someone who knows the Constitution, can read English, and understand the Constitution.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be nice.
I would love that.
There are no qualifications required in the Constitution for someone to be an attorney, and I think it's about time we push for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. All right, let me tell you about Raycon before we get out of here for the day. Raycon is fantastic. These earbuds are awesome. They look great. They feel great in your ears without continually falling out of your ears, which is so obnoxious when you're wearing them around your house and you're trying to do something while you're listening to things. You want something that fits and that feels good, right? Working looks different for everybody these days, especially now. Whether you're out and about, whether you're in a home office, working on a solo project, I can't think of a better way to work on what you love most than with premium audio from Raycon. If you need a pair of wireless earbuds to take you from conference calls to solo work to Zoom meetings, Raycon's E85 work earbuds are a game changer. I just got some, and I love them. Do you have yours?
Yeah, I just got mine the other day.
Awesome. Have you had a chance to use them yet?
I have.
They're so
awesome.
great. They aren't just great for work. They're perfect for any time and anywhere, actually. Anytime you need audio, anytime you want audio. They've got a six microphone system that cuts down on environmental noise and ensures your voice is crystal clear on calls. So they're great on calls. They're great for listening to music. Whatever you're doing right now, go to Buy Raycon, Raycon, Raycon.com/graywork to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's Buy, B-U-Y, Raycon.com/graywork for 15% off Raycons today.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, Robert in Kentucky. You're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, sorry about that. Let me step away from my desk for a minute. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
So first off, wanted to say or ask how you guys are doing. Hope you're doing well.
We are. We're
Fine.
doing great.
Thank you.
And,
Doing great.
Great.
Yeah.
And I really was only concerned about Jeffy.
Thank you.
And then my wife and I, speaking of Kexi cookies, we actually got some of the butterbeer cookies. Those are fantastic.
Oh,
so
thank you.
you for that, Pat.
Yeah, all right.
And then the Simone Biles thing. I'm an adopted kid. Well, I'm an adult now, but when I was adopted, I was part of the foster system, just like she was.
Yeah.
Simone is totally out of touch. There are a lot of people out there that
really. I mean, you don't wish you were aborted?
Yeah. Probably in the womb I did, but I got over it. But my parents had trouble conceiving, so that's why they adopted me. Which, funnily enough, the first adoption fell through. They were going to adopt a little black girl, and they wound up getting me instead. So maybe it was Simone that they were going to adopt. I don't know. But my wife is epileptic, and so we are cautioned against having children of our own. So we're talking about adopting as
Carrying
well.
it on, yeah.
There are a lot of people out there that want kids.
That's for sure.
And that
Millions.
Are they can't have them themselves.
Yep.
So Simone just
completely off base. Yeah.
If you're going to quit the Olympics, quit talking about this too.
Yeah, I'd like that. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. Glad that worked out for you because we wouldn't have had this phone call had he been aborted. We wouldn't have had that. So
we wanted that more than life.
Yeah, we did. Yes. Linnell in Texas, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I had to call and tell you about one of the most ridiculous COVID encounters I've had.
All right.
And it happened in Texas, which is alarming.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped at the grocery store and I wanted to get a coffee. And I went in and this lady ahead of me was completely masked up and she had on some gloves. And then she had her little Pomeranian dog, which was adorable. And I asked her if I could pet the dog. And I don't have a mask on.
You're right.
And I also am like you, Pat, and not sure what I'm going to do about getting the vaccine. But anyway, she said, I'm afraid you might give my dog COVID if you pet it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because we've heard a lot of cases where humans pass COVID to dogs. That's
through petting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Through petting. Yeah,
petting. And I was like, well, I'm not planning on kissing it. I just wanted to, pet it.
Right.
But anyway, it was like I couldn't believe it.
Ridiculous.
So,
man,
ridiculous. That's the crazy hysteria. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Love you guys. I'm
Thank you.
the trucker lady that calls in all the time. Oh, here for you, Jeffy. You ready?
Here we go.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan.
I just came back up from the border, so
it's lovely down there, isn't it?
Especially this time
oh
of year.
my gosh.
Beautiful.
What are you hauling in that trailer right now?
Well, I'm hauling cabinets that are destined for a Home Depot in California.
Call them whatever you want.
There you go.
Cabinets, that's code for heroin.
Cabinets, okay.
Thanks, Linnell. Appreciate it. Matthew in New York. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
We're good.
Good to hear. So, I'm a junior in high school this year, and I've been trying to figure out career options. And I was calling to ask you guys what to do to try and get into this whole radio thing. I'm super passionate about politics. I love this kind of thing. And if you guys even think it's still viable today with all the podcasts and every person on earth having a podcast.
That's a good question.
I think you could do your own thing
question.
from your basement, and I don't say that flippantly. I know that back when I was getting into radio, and maybe you guys can speak to this as well, I got in because they needed someone to run the board overnights. Well, now computers run the board overnights and playing commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's harder now.
Yes.
It's harder now because there are almost no opportunities in small markets, which is where I got into radio. I got into radio in Helena, Montana. And we all went the same path, kind of starting out as, I started out weekend overnights, midnight to 6, and worked my way up from there. Very quickly, by the way, but I did work my way up from there.
It's you,
and
Pat.
it's me.
It's you.
It's
Hello.
Me. And then you go market to market, and you just go bigger and better as you go, and make more money along the way. However, now all of that stuff is done by people in big markets who just record things for all the markets. And so there's very few opportunities there.
Some of that is changing now. Some of that is changing a little bit now. It's so difficult. I mean, and today, if you want to do something in broadcasting, I would just start doing it yourself right now.
That's what I wish I had.
Together a podcast.
When I was a kid, I wish there were podcasts. I wish there was the internet. And Matthew, one thing I will say is that I hear from a lot of frustrated young broadcasters is that, I don't know anybody. It's who you know. Well, it absolutely is who you know. But think of all of the people. Think of all the people that you've.
No, I did.
I didn't know a single person.
No, I want to say this to you, Matthew. Think of all the people that you will cross paths with. If you end up being a jerk or a crappy worker, then you're going to have a reputation, and it's going to have the opposite effect on your career trajectory. So make a good impression. Be willing to do anything. Tell them you'll work weekends, holidays, do whatever it takes. If you want to actually do radio, Go in. You're going to have to find this path yourself, but you're going to make the impressions that are going to create the trajectory that you desire, the way Pat was talking about moving up. But Jeffy, honestly, in Pat's case, I think it was a war of attrition. It was the mean streets. How many people were
there's a
actually
lot of dead
available there?
A lot of dead people that were competitors that you couldn't compete.
Last man standing.
Were you wearing a flak jacket while you were broadcasting? Yeah.
Yes, I did. Because we had a huge window that faced the street. And people used to drive by and shoot at us all the time. All the time. So, yeah, it was dangerous.
Good luck, Matthew.
It was
Wish
dangerous.
you the best.
Yeah, and, you could start out at a local radio station sometimes as a promotion helper.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be on the air.
Yes.
But it can move that direction.
Correct. You just need to get in the building. That's your first goal, is get in the building.
Be the janitor. Or help out with promotions, or if they're still doing that kind of stuff. If you're going to be the janitor,
what the hell? Get a plumbing license, and then you'll have something to fall back on.
That'll actually make you money, Matthew.
Get into plumbing and become rich.
You aren't lying.
You won't worry about radio
I got a couple plumbers
anymore.
in my family, and I'm wondering why I didn't go that route.
Why did I go radio? Matthew, here's the bottom line. You're going to get addicted to it because radio is a drug, but please don't expect to retire early or get rich. You're just going to do it for the love. I wish
radio was a drug. I might not have used the other drug. Wow. Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I didn't know.
Where was Keith when you needed him?
I know.
Where was I?
40 years ago or whatever, 100 years ago. Whenever it was. When was it? Had Marconi
Marconi gave Jeffy his first job.
I tell you, that guy pissed me off.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all.
Yeah, because everybody knows that radio was actually invented in the 1860s in West Virginia, not by Marconi. Look it up.
Really? In West Virginia in the 1860s.
Yeah, there's actually a plaque on a highway up there in West Virginia. A guy shot radio signals from one mountaintop to another back in the 1860s.
That's cool.
And it's documented.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Speaking of technology, do you know what's holding up NASA's moonshot now? They're supposed to go in 2024.
Clouds?
Not clouds.
What is
it?
Fashion.
Right. It's the suits.
Fashion.
It's the spacesuits. It's their spacesuits.
Thank you. Fashion, like I said.
You know what they spent on the spacesuits? $1 billion. And do you know how many are going to be produced? 2. For $1 billion.
So
that's going to net them 2 spacesuits. 500 million apiece.
Did you want more?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I kind of wanted to outfit the entire astronaut corps for
that'll
that.
cost you more than $1 billion.
Gosh, $1 billion for 2 suits. That is crazy. Now, Elon Musk is offering SpaceX's services to help NASA make the next generation suits. Because these are, I don't know, they're supposed to last for 14 years. Like, you could live out in space for 14 years in these suits and survive. That's what they're trying to make them for. I don't know why they stopped at 14. Why didn't you go to 50? I don't know. Why not a month?
They only spent $500 million on these suits, Pat.
We're not spending hundreds.
Now you're talking. You want to double the time they can spend in space? Okay.
So now Musk is offering to help out so that they can maybe get to the moon on time. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It's blowing my mind that we can't do something now that we did already 50 freaking years ago. It's weird. Is it weird?
It's called regression as a society.
Yeah, it is. All right. Have a great weekend. We will be back Monday here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.